Welcome back to METV. So if you watched my editorial calendar series, you'll know that in October we're doing tricks and treats, tips to help your business. And I'm going to put a link to that series in the description bar down below. But today we're talking about business cards. And I've got two business cards right here for two of my businesses. The first tip that I'm going to share is use both sides of your business card. I get a lot of business cards where it's printed on beautiful paper, but it's just written in the front. All the information's in the front and there's nothing in the back. It's blank, and I find that to be such a huge waste of space. Nowadays, there's more information that we need to include than ever before, because not only do we need to include our regular contact information, but we need to include how people can reach us on our social media platforms. So by using both sides of the card, we're able to do just that. So always remember to include your name, your company name, your email, and your phone number. If you do business via fax and you need people to know that number, include that. And if you have a storefront or an office or a P.O. box where you accept mail, make sure to include that as well. Make it easy for the people looking at your card to find you. But like I said, these days we also need to include our social media platforms. So on my card in particular, I have how you can find me on my YouTube channel, my website, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The next tip I'm going to share is one that I learned at a workshop a few years ago on how to create the perfect business card. And I don't have that tip on my card, but what it was if you use glossy paper like mine right here, you might want to consider not using it in the back and then including a square with the word notes over it, so that while you're talking to someone you can write down what it was that they wanted to contact you about in the notes before you hand it to them. Or it gives them the opportunity to write down notes about your conversation, and then when they go home at the end of the night after a networking function where they've got 30, 40, 50, even 60 business cards to look at, they can remember what it is that they wanted to talk to you about. The next tip also came from that workshop, and it was to include a photo of yourself on your business card. Now, I know that the real estate industry does that pretty prevalently, and I think it's a great idea. I don't see too many other industries incorporate that into their business cards, but I think it's another great way to make a connection with the person looking at your card. Again, most of the time when you're handing out your card, you're doing it because you've had a conversation with somebody or you've been at a networking function, and now not only do they have all your information and notes that they wrote from your conversation, but they have a picture to help them remember who they spoke to. A lot of times, even with the best intentions, we get home from our networking functions and we don't immediately input all the contacts that we met that night, and sometimes it could take weeks, sometimes it could take months. And if you don't remember when you pick up the card what it was that you talked to that person about, you're just thinking, wow, why do I even have this? It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. You end up dumping that card. But if they have something to trigger their memory, like a photo or notes on their conversation, they're more likely to make that connection with you, keep that connection with you, and then contact you. The next step I'm going to share is please get your business cards professionally printed. I know that at Office Max and Office Depot they sell those kits where you can print it out on your home printer or your office printer and then punch it out. But in today's world, there's so much competition, and if your competitor has their cards printed out on homemade cards, but yours is professionally printed on beautiful paper and it's attractive to the eye, then you've already got an edge over your competitor without them even having read one word on your card. And I will share this. Years ago, I did a panel for the wedding industry, and in the audience was photographers, videographers, wedding planners, even magazines. And I brought in a panel of brides, and we did a Q&A. And one of the questions asked to the brides was how they perceived the marketing that was sent to them. And hands down, all across the board, every single one of them shared without any shame that if they received a business card, a postcard, or a brochure in the mail or in person handed to them that was printed on a home computer, that they simply tossed it right into the garbage and never even looked at it. And it broke my heart when I looked into the audience, because I knew that many people in the audience did just that. But that was then, and this is now. Nowadays, we have access to so many different types of printers. Online, on the corner, we can Google and research just the right printer for us at just the right price point for us. And they even share templates and tips on how to maximize your business cards, just how I'm doing here. So again, I cannot stress this enough. Please get your business cards professionally printed. Okay, the next step is to keep it simple. If you're doing it yourself, most people that aren't professional graphic artists tend to include every last bit of information on their card. They'll leave out their email address, but boy, they will include every single last bit of information about their company, almost as if to make this a walking website, which is not the purpose for this little teeny tiny little piece of collateral. So make sure you include just the basics, make the design simple, make it attractive to the eye, and you can do so by using both sides. You're able to include your logo, your company name, all your contact info, even what you do, your website, your social media platforms like I did here, and still have lots of open space so that people will look at it. If it is a jumbled mess, I promise you that they're just gonna toss it and not look at it, just as if it was done at home on your printer. And the last step that I'm going to share with you is make sure that the card conveys what you do. Many times our company name doesn't tell the reader of our card what it is that we do. For instance, my company right here, NJC Corporate Enterprises, or even METV, the channel, it doesn't tell you what I do. So unless your website conveys it super easy, like cheapshoes.com, if your website goes with the name, just like NJC Corporate Enterprises, or if your company's named after your family name or initials like this, your reader's not going to know what you do. So make sure that you have somewhere on the card, even if it's one sentence, about what it is that you do. So here on this card, as you can see, I've listed in the back our services. And for METV, and I hope you can see it, very simple, down the back, just a few bullets of what it is that METV offers. So that's it, 6 quick tips on how to improve your business cards so that you can achieve maximum results when you print them. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.